Hello again. I'm Dr. Scott Peck, and welcome to Peace Skill number 9, Explore Solutions for Unity and Justice. If you get this far in peace, man, you deserve the Nobel Peace Prize, because this is the heart of peace. Remember, we said that conflict on one extreme and moves to neutrality, but that's not peace. That neutrality then has to keep moving over here to an honoring, to a softness, to a lovingness, and that's unity and justice. Think of those words, justice and unity. Those are fabulous words that define a sense of almost bliss. So that's your job. Move the conflict past the story and start exploring solutions for unity and justice. I think it's important and helpful to you as the peacemaker to recognize that your goal is not to have them sign a peace treaty or to sign a document that says, I will do this and this and this if you'll do this and this and this. Really, because they may sign it and still hate each other, and that's not peace. They still wouldn't have a sense of unity and maybe even a sense of justice. So your goal is to create the reality of peace, not a piece of paper or some objective. Your goal is to have them actually feel a sense of unity and a sense of justice. Now that's asking a lot, and that's why this peace skill is called not achieving, but exploring. So be real clear in your own heart, because then you're not setting yourself up for failure. I'm just going to explore with you. Let's pretend we're in this conflict and you've been angry at Mary forever, and I talked with you forever about how long you want to hold on to this, and you basically want to keep holding on to it. We've been over this many times, and finally I say to you, what do you envision for yourself 5 years from now? Where do you want your heart to be and your own life to be, your own feelings? And you might say, well, I'd like this to be over with. I'd like to be at a more peaceful place. Well, boom, they've just opened that door to peace. Now, you don't want to push them through that door, so you might say, so how do you envision that happening? This is the most wonderful sentence, and I sometimes will start a conflict when I see there's an opening way back there at the beginning of conflict, when they're getting their feelings out, and I see just a little light of receptivity. I'll say, how do you envision this conflict ending? And they might stop and they might go for it, meaning answer the question, or they might go back into the story and the conflict some more. But either way, I keep tossing out that possibility. How do you envision this happening? And even if they toss it back at you and say, I have no idea, I don't even think it's possible. Well, now you're back to the beginning, the very first peace skill of envisioning peace. Because you started this process envisioning peace. So I might say to you, well, I know it seems like this is impossible conflict that can't get resolved, but right from the beginning, as I have listened to my heart and listened to love speak to me and to you, I have envisioned that you and Mary, believe it or not, find common ground and have a sense that there is justice taking place, and that you feel a sense of unity, that you even like each other. I can envision that happening. So, and I think sometimes it's helpful to not know how it's going to happen, but just to even entertain that as a possibility opens the door. What do you think about that? And see, when you're asking them, what do you think about that, you're asking them to be a part of the peace process. And every time they can take a step, even if they engage with you and say, I'd like that to happen, but I don't see how that could. Well, guess what? They're exploring solutions. What would Mary have to do for you to feel happy? And what do you think Mary would feel you need to do for her to feel happy? And if they respond to either of those questions, they're exploring solutions for unity and justice. Very, very exciting. That's how the peace process goes. We're not worried about speed here. peace takes 1,000,000,000 times longer than telling somebody what to do, or forcing them to do something that they don't want to do, or even if they force them to do something they do want to do, they're not going to be happy. So you're in a delightful position. You can't lose. You cannot lose unless you lose your own cool. You get embroiled in the conflict, and then of course you're part of the story, as opposed to being part of the peace process. You can't lose. Your job is to just keep opening the door for the exploration of solutions for unity and justice. It's really fun, and it's going to force you to explore those in your own heart too, so that you can be a help to the other person. But we can't tell somebody else what the solution is for them. And that makes them feel so good and so loved when they realize you're not trying to ram peace down their throat, and that you respect that it's their decision and you're here to help them make the highest possible decision. That's why I might even ask, when you ask your highest self, how am I going to get past this, and what's the solution? Well, that may seem like an innocent question, but that's a powerful question, because you're asking them to go to their spiritual source, their highest self, and tune in to divine love, and and asking them to think, what is love saying to you? And many people will tune in given that invitation. And if they don't, no problem, just keep going with the peace process. So I hope you will enjoy exploring and helping others explore solutions for unity and justice.